All right, welcome back to Everything You Need to Know. This week we're covering World Baseball Classic, the end of it, obviously, and then also a couple things that happened in spring training, the time frame of spring training. Nothing exciting really happened in spring training, but let's dive right into the World Baseball Classic because it was amazing. Here's the final at-bat in case you missed it.
Manu Manu right here. USA's captain versus Japan's
just gotta
captain.
love Trout v. Shohei.
First time they've ever faced each other. They've been teammates for 5 years.
100 fastball right down the middle there, Trout.
Against the best. Here's the pitch. Trout swings and misses. Here's the pitch. In the dirt at 102.
And here it is. Came down to 3-2. 2 outs. The ninth inning. USA down by 1 run.
He throws.
Shohei Ohtani strikes Trout out. And there you go. I mean, it was an epic ending to an epic World Baseball Classic, really. So I would say overall, World Baseball Classic was an incredible success. We loved watching it, and it was just a nail-biter. Came down to it at the end. We'll move on because some people didn't think quite as much as highly of the final at-bat as other people. Here's Mad Dog Russo's take.
We're going to make this out to be an epic at-bat? Really? What is Gibson and Eckersley then in the World Series in Game 1 when Gibson hobbled around the bases and hit the home run against Eckersley, Dodgers-A's in '88, one of the great home runs in the history of baseball?
World Series. Absolutely.
But hold it now. Did you see the headlines today? Epic at-bat. Incredible moment. What? But why? Because they're teammates? I mean, and Trout does nothing but strike out. Trout struck out twice in the game. He strikes out. You know, everybody talks to me about Trout and DiMaggio. I mean, Trout strikes out 175 times a year.
Yeah, so I don't get it. Mad Dog, why you got to dump on Mike Trout? He's the best player in the world, debatably behind Shohei. And he doesn't strike out that often. It's not like all he does is strike out. If you aren't familiar with Chris Mad Dog Russo, he is a sports analyst, radio guy who does sports. He was on First Take there with Stephen A. And I just don't talk baseball if you're really going to do it like that. I mean, come on. There's no need to dump on Mike Trout. He struck out, and guess what? He never strikes out swinging 3 times in an at-bat. That just never happens. Mike Trout is generational talent, and it was an epic ending to the end of the game, end of an awesome World Baseball Classic. But I guess some people, haters, just going to hate, and yeah, a lot of people are going to hate on this. Apple TV Plus is going to have MLB games again in 2023. Most people weren't very satisfied with the way that their games went last year. The calls weren't very good. The commentating wasn't very good. Just didn't seem like they were too knowledgeable on baseball at the time. Hopefully they revamp things and things will be better this year. I know our guy Xavier Scruggs joined the team. Probably as more of an analyst, I'm guessing, but I don't know. He could be doing color commentating as well. But yeah, people weren't really too pleased with last year's debut of it. But hey, money talks, and obviously Apple has a load of it. A guy who hopefully will be getting a load of money from just endorsements and stuff, Randy Arozarena. His fandom was insane in the World Baseball Classic. We were out in Phoenix to watch some of the games. Obviously, that's where Mexico played their pool play. Whether it was just signing autographs during pitching changes or just bringing the energy, robbing home runs in left field, Randy was a star, and he shone so bright during the World Baseball Classic this year. And, yeah, it's just amazing to see how he was able to show his personality, be himself, whether it was in the field or during at-bats or pre-game with the boots. It's just awesome. Gotta love Randy. And gotta say now he's probably moved up in a lot of people's eyes as a more favorite player and definitely a more outgoing personality-showing player. So, yeah. Continuing with the World Baseball Classic, there's a few injuries that kind of suck to see. Edwin Diaz, he injured his patella, I believe I'm saying that right, something in his knee. He's probably going to be out for the whole 2023 season for the Mets. He was celebrating Puerto Rico's win over the Dominican Republic in the World Baseball Classic after he had just closed out the game for Puerto Rico. And it was sort of just a freak accident. He was celebrating, and then he went down. They had to help him off the field. And, yeah, turns out he's out for the whole rest of the 2023 season. And that's a big blow to the Mets, but I don't want it to hamper the mood or damper the mood on the World Baseball Classic because it was an awesome occasion. And you think about it, Gavin Lux got injured in the spring training game. It happens. When you're playing baseball, there's a chance you could get injured. It's just the way it works. With Jose Altuve, he was hit in the hand with a pitch. I believe he's out, I can't remember, 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 months. I'm thinking weeks. But it's a big blow for the Astros, too. They're going to be all right, but I think the general mood from players is that they want to play in the World Baseball Classic because the environment is awesome. They're not being scared off by these injuries. And the World Baseball Classic was amazing for the sport of baseball. A couple players' Instagram following skyrocketed. Lars Nootbaar, Shohei Ohtani, and Randy Arozarena, just to the moon. And it's just a great way for baseball players to show their personality when playing the game. And they enjoyed it. There's so many quotes from, especially Team USA, to just because that's what I'm familiar with, of players saying they loved it. It was the best experience ever. They had so much fun, anything like that. And obviously it was a ton of fun for fans too. The environment, I will say, was insane, especially for the Mexico-USA game down there in Phoenix. That was awesome. I can't imagine Puerto Rico versus Dominican Republic would have been much different, and especially the final, USA versus Japan, I'm sure was nuts in that stadium. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next one already, but we're going to be moving on now. So, into things that happen, I guess you can say, in spring training time period. It's not really related to spring training. The Rockies signed Jurickson Profar to a 1-year, $7.75 million deal, and Profar, who's just really a utility guy, mostly playing outfield. I would say this isn't a big deal because the Rockies signed him. It's more a big deal because other teams didn't sign him, specifically the Yankees. There was rumors they were looking for him to be their everyday left fielder, but obviously now he's inked the deal with Colorado, and you probably are going to forget about him for the rest of the year because most people don't. We saw what happened to Chris Bryant. Most people aren't paying too much attention to Rockies baseball, seeing as they're not that great at the moment. But yeah, more of a big deal because the Yankees didn't sign him compared to a big deal because the Rockies did. And finally here, interesting news, I will say, that the Braves optioned Vaughn Grissom, who sort of starting to break out last year at the end of the season. He was their second baseman replacement for Ozzie Albies, and now he was expected to be, I believe, their shortstop this year with Dansby leaving. But it's now looking like that's going to be Orlando Arcia to start the season. Grissom was optioned to AAA to start the year. I would expect him to be up pretty quickly. Obviously, depending on how Arcia does and how Grissom does in AAA, but seeing as how Vaughn played really well last year to end the season, I'd expect him to be up quickly. And then for the Mets, Francisco Alvarez, their superstar, super prospect catcher, he was optioned as well down to the minor leagues because I guess he just wasn't doing that great in AAA, or not in AAA, in spring training. So they're going to give him some time in the minors, see if he can fix some things, whatever he's got to do, get back on track, and bring him back up to take over the starting catching role from Omar Narvaez. So yeah, it was just interesting. I don't know exactly the reasoning behind it. Could be contract control too, because you only got so many options, and they don't want him playing so much before they have to pay him, all that stuff. So we'll see how it goes for them. And yeah, looking forward to the season. Starts in less than a week now. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.